Okay, Uber Freight. Uber Freight says what?
Yeah,
He said, "Oh, we'd like to join up with you guys."
yeah.
So what do you think?
Tesla Semi,
You're the
yes.
you're the Tesla semi man. Talk
Yeah.
to me. Talk to me.
Yeah. So Uber, besides giving rides in um, passenger cars to people, also has a service where they um, do semi trucks. And by getting a deal with Tesla, then some number of Tesla semis will be more quickly absorbed into the market. And whatever the current numbers of semis Uber has now under that program um, could rapidly expand with Tesla Semi coming to, especially if there was any kind of platooning, which I think is near, which is basically you have a convoy of three trucks, one driver up front, two without drivers following using technology. Because that would be basically supervised from the front,
Mhm.
right? It would be a far easier problem, and other guys are working towards that, and that would give you a significant savings. So, you know, currently it's about $2.20 per mile average charge, variation based on type of truck and stuff like that. But ballpark 220, ballpark 150, including the driver at 70 cents, right? Buck 50 for the per mile cost.
Just because you go to electric.
No, no, that's still diesel. That's
I'm sorry.
still that's still diesel.
Still diesel. Okay.
Still diesel. Buck 50. Buck
Okay.
50, buck 60. It goes up and down based on the price of gas,
Okay.
right? Price of diesel. So buck 50 to buck 60. But the Tesla semi will be at like a buck 30, a buck 25.
Okay.
Cost electricity, all that kind of
Right.
stuff, because of the efficiency of it. That electricity is cheaper per mile with the efficiency of a Tesla. Other electric trucks that are like a buck 40 to higher, they're a bit better, can be a bit better, but the cost is different. More cost on buying it,
Mhm.
less cost on operating it, right? Um, but then if you get the automation, that's where you drop down to 56 cents per mile, right?
Wow.
So once the economics start working out, like one, there's an economic gain right off the bat, even
Right.
if you're driving
Right.
the truck yourself,
Uh-huh.
right? And then um, if the big steps would be getting the driver out in some way, or two-thirds of the cost out if I have one driver for every three trucks.
Yeah, so as I talked a little bit about this, I didn't have any idea that Nicholas Gibbs knew so much about the trucking business. But if you haven't seen last night's show, you should really take a look at least that part of it. So he knows a lot about it. So do I. I've had a lot of experience with the trucking industry, and what Uber's doing is solving the truck driver's problem, the independent truck driver's problem. The independent truck driver usually isn't a business person. They're usually not even that smart. They're just somebody who loves to take a truck on the road. And so they got several problems. They got to buy a $150,000 vehicle. They got to make sure they make the payments. They got repairs. They got downtime. They got a huge fuel bill. And if their credit card gets taken away because they run out of money on the road, their history. They've got all these things because I know all about this because I was working with a factor who would get the phone call from the guy on the road and go, "Hey, you need to put more money in my account because I can't pay my fuel bill." And the factor's like, "Yeah, but you haven't delivered the load yet. How can I give you money against the load?" So I mean, this is the kind of problems these guys have. Okay.
Mm,
Well, Uber smooths all that out because Uber says we're going to give you a some kind of a deal on the truck,
mm,
and we're going to make sure that we keep you loaded up. We keep you in loads.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So this is the basics of the business.
yeah.
And if Uber can keep these people in loads, and then they probably don't even have to factor. They can just, manage their money better.
Right.
And so this is a really cool thing that Uber is doing, quite frankly. I've got to give them a big hand knowing what I know about the independent trucking business. It's a really cool thing for these people.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff where they have um, like for robotaxi, for taxi, you have the company that's taking the bookings, and then they're being allocated these things for a small truck individual or a small company with 6 trucks or something like that, they may have um, some secretarial or booking person who's
Right.
arranging the loads, right? And they're using software that tells them, okay, here's the available loads, the potential could bid for, and then they got to like close the deals and all that kind of stuff. And there's nuances to that because I could get a very high paying load going from this state to that state,
Mhm.
but then that other state may not have loads coming back out,
Right.
and I don't want to come out empty,
Yeah.
right? So there's a bunch of those kind of nuances, and Uber with better software
Mhm.
could help maximize the whole situation, just like they can do surge pricing and other stuff like that. All the negotiations and stuff can be automated,
Right.
just like they automate it for the Uber drivers.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this looks like a really good deal for Tesla. But my question is, if this is an okay deal for Uber and Tesla on trucks, why isn't the same deal on the cabs?
Hmm.
Seemed to me it's no different. I'm still a guy that needs ride. I need my loads. I need my rides.
Yeah.
I need somebody to organize my rides. I need to make sure the more rides I get per day, the more money I'm going to make.
Mhm.
Uber can say, hey, I'll make sure you get lots and lots of rides and I'll give you a deal on the car. I'll give you some kind of a subsidy on the car, but you have to use my app. You have to use the Uber app for the first 2 years, or that's what the deal on the truck. But you have to use my truck for the first 2 years or whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be the same thing on Uber cars with Tesla as it is now with the trucks? It seemed like the same deal.
I think the difference would be that this truck deal is pre-robo trucking, where I move the truck driver entirely,
Mm.
right? So if I'm no longer needing to interface with that, I'm just going to clients, then that changes the dynamic. There can be still a need for that once I go robo trucking, robo taxi. And same thing for robo taxi. Like if right now they're dealing with the people and that relationship, which would go to a Gary Black thing of like, you want to have Uber dealing with that relationship and they have this extra information,
Right,
right? This information and networking and relationship advantage,
right.
right? But as others have said, once you take out the driver, then the difference is so stark and all the control and relationship goes to Tesla because they're the only ones who can offer it. They're the only ones who can offer robo-trucking, the only ones who can offer robo-taxi, right?
Right, but if I'm a trucker and I no longer I still own the truck. If I'm a driver, but I can now watch football,
Yeah.
you know, my car is still out there. I still need to maximize its performance in the field. I need to maximize the profit, decide when to put it out, when not to put it out, et cetera. I mean, all that stuff stays the same as far as I can tell.
If you're in supervised mode, yes. If I still need some kind of supervision, some kind of even though I'm not driving the truck, like I'm not touching the wheel anymore because I got
No,
an FSD.
I'm saying if it's autonomous completely,
Yeah.
but I still own the truck,
Okay.
but it's autonomous.
Right.
Okay, I still own the car.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
autonomous.
Right.
I still
Right. So
own
so
it.
then having the management of it, yes, there would be a need. It'd be like Airbnb where someone owns the asset,
Yeah,
they own the house,
yeah,
and then they farm out the managing the cleanup, the turn, managing the booking and dealing with the clients and stuff like that. So they say, okay, take 20% of the fees.
yeah. Well, they
This
can take whatever they want. They can
whatever, yeah,
whatever they can manage in terms because it's their app.
yeah, right,
So what I'm thinking is when Uber said that Tesla didn't want to partner with them, I think they were talking about they didn't want to partner with them. They didn't want Uber to have their own fleet.
hmm
But I don't think that they even have an ability to stop them from
buying one,
buying the cars
right,
and putting them out autonomously
yeah,
under their own Uber app.
brand, yeah,
Yeah,
brand app
yeah,
technology, yes,
I don't, yeah, and if you're going to do that and you're going to do it en masse, then you would want to have a relationship with Tesla on that subject so that you don't get into a Hertz deal.
right,
You make all these mistakes and then it all blows up.
right. So I think that scenario is what you and I have talked about.
Right.
Now, once it's solved,
Yeah.
then big and small middlemen will take it, and then the big is the Uber and the Hertz and the whatever, and then the small is individuals or people with 20 or 50 or 100 vehicles.